So this video is going to be about NBA YoungBoy, and I'm going to be breaking down all of the symbolism that he has done to let us know that he's going to fake his death. And then towards the end of the video, I'm also going to be breaking down all the gematria with this entire character, because every single detail about this character is connected to death. So this is something that they've coded with this character since the very beginning, along with details from when he was infiltrating before he was famous. So make sure you watch this video all the way through. So the first thing we need to talk about is the fact that he openly admitted in this music video that he's going to fake his death. I mean, it couldn't be any more obvious. He's literally laying down inside of a casket. And when I first saw this, I thought it was edited or a meme, because I couldn't process that he openly did this in a music video. But this is actually real, and it's from a music video, and he's even sitting down in it throughout the video. So it's just blatantly right in our face, predictive programming, so that when he fakes his death, we already seen the image of him in a coffin, so it would be very familiar to us. And throughout this whole music video, his entire house is red. As you can see right here, this entire hallway is red. Every single song he makes, he always references murder or killing somebody. That's the main sin that he promotes. This character loves promoting murder. I mean, he literally has a song called Murder from 6 years ago, along with many other songs with murder in the name that I'll show you guys later on in the video. And his music is extremely violent, and people love this type of stuff. But we should not be listening to this, because when you listen to murder music, they are influencing your thoughts, and they can actually influence you to be negative or violent. So be careful what you're indulging in, because the type of music you listen to will have an effect on your subconscious mind, and later on this music can influence you to do certain things. So music is literally mind control and brainwashing, so be very careful about what you're listening to. Personally, I don't listen to any of their music, and I recommend that you guys don't either. So back to this music video. Not only is he in a coffin throughout this video, but at the very end, it says the end. And this could be referring to just the music video ending, but obviously everything they do has multiple meanings. So this is also referencing the end of his character. And then after this, it shows the person who created the music video. And notice how it's a skeleton with a skull, and he's doing one-eye symbolism as well. Here's some more predictive programming that he's put right in our face. So he took this picture in his mansion, and he literally has a casket on his wall. As you can see right here on the left, he literally has a casket hanging on the side of the wall. And this is very strange. You know, I've never seen somebody with a casket hung up on their wall. It's almost like he's ready to die, and he's showing us in plain sight. And on top of this, he even has a song called Death and Claimed. So he's claiming his death ahead of time. And he made this music video because apparently somebody tried killing him, and obviously it was staged and fake, but that's more predictive programming that this character is going to die. And he's most likely going to get murdered, considering the fact that he's always rapping about murder. And also in the very beginning of this music video, he shows like 1 minute of himself going down an elevator, which is very symbolic to many things. But one thing it reminded me of is the fact that Prince literally died in an elevator. So I found that very interesting, because this character is going to end up faking his death as well. And in this Death and Claimed video, he's also sitting inside of a casket again. So he's done this multiple times. You know, it's not just one music video. He's been doing this so many times throughout the years. And in this one, he was very subtle about it, because this picture was only shown on the screen for like 1 second. But nevertheless, he still showed us this predictive programming in plain sight. Then he did this interview, and he's literally wearing skulls on his jacket. So he's continuing this predictive programming, and it's only a matter of time before it happens. So here's an Instagram live where he's singing one of his songs, and notice how in the song he literally admits that he's going to die and he's not scared.
I'ma die before this Christmas, I ain't scared. I'ma face you.
Some more predictive programming is the fact that an NBA YoungBoy lookalike was found dead last year. So this is more predictive programming, because they're showing us headlines with NBA YoungBoy and found dead in the same sentence. So when we see this happen to the actual character NBA YoungBoy, we're already desensitized to it, because we've seen headlines like this.
Hey, say wood. What? We gonna let that run down the like that? I'm saying, Dick. I'm saying what you gonna do. Say, K. Say, K. Okay. Oh, y'all rocking?
Then he has an album called 3800 Degrees. And notice he has the skull in the background. And of course, the number 38 is connected to the word death in Gematria. But another key term with the number 38 is the fact that Lucifer is 38 in Gematria as well. And this is what he's mainly referencing with the number 38. Of course, he's mentioning death with it as well because he is going to fake his death. But the main thing he's mentioning here is Lucifer because he calls himself 38 Baby because all celebrities are fallen angels and they're all followers of Lucifer, which is the main fallen angel that they all worship. So this is why many of them openly admit that they have signed a blood contract or taken an oath. And he has a music video where he openly admits that he signed a blood contract. And of course, this is a reference to him being a worker for Lucifer, or in other words, selling his soul.
I sign my deal up in blood letters.
And this is why they all do the vow of silence. As you can see, NBA YoungBoy is no different from any other celebrity. Regardless of how real he tries to seem, you can still clearly tell that he's a part of the agenda and the New World Order, because all celebrities play a role in the New World Order. That is their main objective. And this is why they all do the vow of silence. You know, this is a vow that Freemasons take, where they vow to never speak out about the secrets that they have and the secrets of their agendas for the New World Order. So here he is doing the vow of silence. And every single celebrity has done the vow of silence at least once in a picture or a video. You know, some are more subtle about it, but some just openly do it, like these characters right here. So here's many pictures of celebrities doing the vow of silence. And here's another one of NBA YoungBoy doing it very subtly and sneakily because he's doing it with this knife. But nevertheless, this is still the vow of silence symbolism, letting us know that he took a vow for Lucifer. And as you can see, he's also doing one-eye symbolism. The right side of his face is darkened. And right here on his album cover, he's also doing one-eye symbolism again. And this one is right in our face because this is an album cover. So many people have seen this album cover, and I bet 99% of them didn't even notice that he was openly doing one-eye symbolism right here. Then he has another album cover where he's doing one-eye symbolism again, but this time it's with a skull covering half of his face. And he even has a song on his album called Red Eye. And then right here, notice how the right side of his face is darkened with his shadow once again for the one-eye symbolism. So they openly show us their allegiance with this one-eye symbolism thing. They love it so much, they idolize it. So now let's talk about this big contradiction that NBA YoungBoy has done. So recently NBA YoungBoy made a song called This Is Not a Song, This Is For My Supporters. And this was 5 months ago. And notice how on this whiteboard it says, stop the violence. And there's like a arrow going through this heart. And this heart is actually a symbol of snakes on the Baphomet. I've showed it in a previous video. But anyways, my main point here is that he's saying to stop the violence, which is a good thing. But this is very contradictory for this character to say this because he's one of the main rappers that promotes violence in every single song. And keep in mind, this was 5 months ago. So many people thought he would stop rapping about violence and killing, but sure enough, he did not stop. He actually contradicted himself because he started rapping about killing even more in his recent music. So here's a song where he talks about killing somebody and putting their head on a pillow.
Get your head buzzing, all that thing. They gon' lay his head on a pillow if we creep up on him.
And then here's another verse where he raps about killing somebody and he says he doesn't care about what they bleed.
I'm a killer boy and what you bleed.
So I found that very interesting because it's almost like he's referencing the fact that there's other entities here because humans all bleed the same thing, but other entities would bleed something else. So that's what he's hinting at with that verse. So anyways, another big contradiction is that a couple months ago he did this interview and he openly admitted that his music has killed many children and many young people and has gotten many people to kill each other because of how violent and destructive his music is.
How many lives I actually am responsible for when it comes to my music.
And he was pretending as if he felt bad about it, but he did not care at all, because shortly after this, he did that music video that I just showed you guys where he's literally rapping about killing, along with hundreds of other songs that he's made after this interview where he rapped about killing. So these characters love contradicting everything they say. You know, when they talk in these interviews, it's just to get people to like them. And another weird thing about this interview is that he said he's scared of people, which is very weird because it's almost like he's hinting at the fact that he's a fallen angel and that he's actually scared of humans, because humans are way more powerful than fallen angels. So they're actually scared of us.
This is my angel. I'm terrified of people. I am very scared of people. I am terrified of people. I am terrified of people.
So then he has this other music video called Demon Party, and in most of the music video, he's doing one-eye symbolism with half of his face darkened, and he also has knives on his hands that look like claws, so letting us know that he's a demonic entity. And the fact that this song is literally called Demon Party shows that he's just openly admitting he's a demon at this point, and people are so blind that they don't even notice that this is even the title. And I'm not shocked that he's calling himself a demon, because his body does not look human at all. So here's a picture on Google Maps where they showed NBA YoungBoy in front of his house, and this shows that he's not a real person. You know, he's simply a character for the world stage, because the fact that the default picture of his address is him outside of his front house, you know, this was obviously scripted, because they obviously had a plan for him to be a celebrity in the future, because the chances of this happening is rare. So this is clearly not a coincidence. And if you look closely at his body, he does not look human at all. You know, his body is very oddly shaped. And you can see right here, his stomach looks very odd in comparison to the rest of his body. And his legs are bow-legged as well, which is very weird. And it's funny because his body reminds me of the aliens from Men in Black. As you can see, they have these very skinny bodies and their stomachs are very big, similar to NBA YoungBoy. So clearly NBA YoungBoy is not a regular human. And this whole thing was scripted because his address is 3863 Chippewa Street. And I'm going to get into the scripting of those numbers later. Obviously, right away you guys can tell it's scripted because the number 38 is in his address. And he calls himself 38 Baby, and he's always referencing the number 38. So now I'm going to show you guys all of the gematria that proves that this character will be faking his death, or that someone around him will fake their death. But it's most likely going to be NBA YoungBoy or Quando Rondo, because Quando Rondo is the only one that's really big that is around him. But before I get into the gematria, I just want to point out the fact that this is a very violent character, but yet he's very feminine at the same time. As you can see, he literally paints his fingernails black in plain sight and nobody even cares. So people are so desensitized that he can just get away with it. And most of his fan base is very young, so he's really feminizing the youth. So now let's get into all of the gematria that proves NBA YoungBoy will fake his death, and that he's been a character from the very beginning. NBA YoungBoy is scripted to fake his death, and I think the biggest mockery of it all is the fact that he has this picture right here where he's literally pointing a gun to his head. And this is very symbolic to a lot of things. Not only the fact that he's going to get shot in the head, but it's also symbolic to the fact that he's killing your consciousness with his music. You know, his music is very deadly, and he's always rapping about killing, and he always has beef with a bunch of people. And there's a lot of characters around him that have died already. So there's a lot of deaths surrounding YoungBoy, and you guys are going to see with all these connections why a lot of people around him keep dying. So let's get into the gematria. So his real name is Kentrell Deshaun Golden, and Kentrell Deshaun Golden equals 83 in gematria. And you guys should already know where I'm going with this, because 83 and 38 are big numbers that they use, because as you guys can see, killing, Louisiana, and rapper all equal 38. And YoungBoy is from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And I explained this in my Jada Youngin video, because Jada Youngin is another rapper from Louisiana that died. And in that video I was talking about how a lot of rappers from Louisiana are gonna die because it's literally scripted in their name. You know, rapper, Louisiana, and killing all equal 38 in the same cipher. So go watch my video about Jada Youngin. The link is in the description below. But anyways, moving along. 38 is a big number that YoungBoy uses. You know, he calls himself 38 Baby, and he even has a song called 38 Baby. And then he has a song called Big 38. And then he has a song called 38 Heights. And then he has a song with No Cap called 38 Sides. And he's wearing the number 38 on his jersey right here. And then it says 38 Sides right here. And then if you look closely at the time, it says 1638. So the main reason they use the number 38 so much is because death equals 38. And according to Genius, the reason why he calls himself 38 Baby is because he lived in North 38 of Baton Rouge. And another 38 connection is his address where he used to live. So he used to live on 3863 Chippewa Street in Baton Rouge. So don't you guys find it ironic that the number 38 is in his address? You know, what are the chances of that? That's definitely not a coincidence. He was scripted to live in that house, on that street, in that city, and in that state. And you guys are going to see with all these Gematria connections that everything about his entire life has been scripted from the very beginning. That shows that YoungBoy is not a real person. He's simply just a character for the world stage. Because there's no way all of this scripting could just be a coincidence.
NBA YoungBoy. Caught on Google Maps.
So he lived on 3863 Chippewa Street, and even RIP equals 38. So that phrase, rest in peace, is very scripted. So when people die, I don't say RIP because that's something that they want us to say, because RIP equals 38. Why do you guys think when somebody dies, everybody says RIP? They made it that way because RIP and death both equal 38 in Gematria. So this shows that all the phrases that we're programmed to say are very scripted in Gematria. But moving along, YoungBoy even has a song called RIP with Offset. So this is not a coincidence that Offset was on this song, because recently, if you guys watched my video about Offset, I talked about how Offset's going to be another death faker because he has a lot of death connections with Gematria as well. So I recommend you guys check out this video. The link is in the description below. But not only is this song called RIP, you know, which is complete mockery, because if you type in RIP YoungBoy, this song is going to pop up. So it's like predictive programming for our mind, so that when YoungBoy dies, we already saw the words RIP next to YoungBoy, because that's literally the name of his song. But another weird thing is the name of this album. The name of this album is called Until Death Call My Name Reloaded. And he even has a 38 chain. So there's a lot of 38s with this character. And he looks like a demon on this cover right here. So the fact that his full name equals 83 in the same cipher as rapper and killing really shows that he was scripted to be a rapper, and he was scripted to rap about killing, because that's mainly what his music is about. And Louisiana also equals 38 as well. So it was scripted for his character to be from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, because his full name equals 83, and Baton equals 83, and murder equals 83 as well. And he has a lot of songs with the word murder in it. This song right here is called Murder. And then he has another song called Murder Remix with 21 Savage. And then he has a song called Murda with Trippie Redd. And then he has a song called Murder Business. So he puts a lot of this in plain sight in his song titles and in his music as well. Here's a clip from one of his songs called Preach, where he says he feels like he's gonna die.
I've been feeling like I'm finna die.
So right there he said he feels like he's gonna die. And that song is called Preach for a reason, because Preach equals 33 in the same cipher as Masonry. And then he also calls himself Lil Top, and Lil Top equals 33 as well. And his middle name is Deshaun, and Deshaun also equals 33. Alright, so now let's break down his entire name, because everything about his name is scripted with death. So first let's start off with NBA, because that's part of his name. So NBA equals 17 in Gematria, and kill equals 17, and dies equals 71, and car crash equals 71 as well. So there's a chance that he might get in a car crash. And if you guys remember, he actually got shot at in his car when he was supposed to perform at Rolling Loud, and he didn't get shot, but I believe his girlfriend did, but she ended up surviving. But I'm just putting this out here because there's a chance he might get in a car crash. But moving along, his direct address equals 71. Could you guys believe that? His entire address, which is 3863 Chippewa Street, equals 71 in Gematria, just like all these other words. You know, what are the chances of all of this connecting like this? And then his new stage name is YoungBoy Never Broke Again, which equals 271. So that's another 71 right there. And then the Society of Jesus equals 71. So this proves that every little detail about this character is scripted. Alright, so now let's look at his first stage name, NBA YoungBoy. So NBA YoungBoy equals 141 in Gematria, and Death Hoax equals 41. So like I said, it's only a matter of time before he fakes his death. And he might not fake his death anytime soon because he's pushing a lot of agendas right now. So I'm sure they're going to keep pushing more agendas before they kill off his character. But it's only a matter of time before they fake his death because his death is going to be blasted everywhere. He's going to be one of the biggest death fakers of this generation. And also his base character is one of the biggest death fakers of all time. But anyways, moving along with the 41s and 14s. He even has a song called 41. So like I said, he's putting it right in our face with all these song titles. And Skull and Bones equals 41. And 38 Baby equals 41. And he's from Louisiana. And the abbreviation for Louisiana is LA. And LA equals 41 and 14 as well. So this is why a lot of celebrities fake their death in Louisiana and LA, Los Angeles, because LA is an abbreviation for Los Angeles and Louisiana. And they did that on purpose so they can script a lot of things in both of those places. So the reverse of 41 is 14, and dead equals 14. And his middle name, Deshaun, equals 114. And passed away equals 114 as well. And then he's from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And Baton Rouge, Louisiana also equals 114. And then NBA YoungBoy equals 51. And he calls himself Top. And I can see why, because it matches up with NBA YoungBoy. Because Top equals 15 in the same cipher. And then once again, the street that he's from is very scripted to his name. Do you guys really think it's a coincidence that NBA YoungBoy equals 51 in Gematria and the street that he's from also equals 51? There's no way any of this could be a coincidence. This is proof that his entire life has been scripted from the very beginning. Alright, so NBA YoungBoy equals 156 in the reverse ordinal cipher. And Society of Jesus equals 56. So now let's get into all of the 48s and 84s. So NBA YoungBoy equals 48 in the reverse full reduction. And Pass Away equals 48 in the same cipher. So this is definitely not a coincidence. And Homicide equals 48 as well. And once again, the street that he's from, Chippewa Street, also equals 48. And then his middle name also equals 48 as well. And then his other nickname, Lil Top, equals 84. And then he's from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And Baton Rouge, Louisiana equals 84. And Masonry equals 84 as well. And Jesuit equals 84. So now let's get into the 24s and 42s. So YoungBoy equals 124. And Pass Away equals 24. And Rouge equals 24. And Homicide is 42. And something I found interesting was that RIP and YoungBoy have the same exact gematria. So when he dies, this phrase is going to be used a lot because it matches up perfectly in gematria. RIP equals 43 and YoungBoy also equals 43. And then his name Cantrell matches up with his stage name YoungBoy. So again, this proves that his real name and his stage name are scripted together. So now let's look at his full stage name right now, which is YoungBoy Never Broke Again, because it equals 118 in the same cipher as Die, which equals 18. And Kills also equals 18 in that same cipher. So like I said, this stage name was created for a reason because it equals 118. Just like where he's from, Baton Rouge, equals 118 as well. So again, do you guys really find this to be a coincidence? His entire stage name matches up perfectly with Baton Rouge, where he's from. And then even the street that he's from is 81. So this character is very scripted, even down to his birthday. So his birthday is October 20th. And that 20 is a big number that they use with death as well, because death equals 20 in the full reduction cipher. And RIP equals 20 as well. So that's all the connections that I wanted to show for this video. And there's so many more connections as well, because these characters are scripted to every single detail, from places they perform at to hospitals that they're born. All of these things are all scripted. And I bet if I did gematria on everything about his character, I would find so many more things, even down to his zodiac. Every detail about them is completely scripted. Nothing is organic with these celebrities. That's something that I really wanted to show you guys in this video, that every single detail from the day that they're born to the street that they're from, to their address, to their state, their country, their career, the people they surround themselves with, because if you guys watch my Quando Rondo video, there was a lot of 38s and 83s in that as well. So everything about celebrities is 100% scripted, even down to the song titles, the lyrics. You know, I could break down all of that, but it would take hours. So I just brought the best connections that I was able to find just to show you guys how scripted this character is, and that this character is gonna fake his death. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to drop a like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications, follow me on Instagram, and subscribe to my Patreon if you're interested in exclusive content that isn't allowed on YouTube. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm out.